Okay.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke? Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion. You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times. I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science. Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation. True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now. Do you need help with anything in particular? Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished. Do you want me to play the errand boy for you? Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need. I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Alright. He seems
Goodbye,
very
Dr.
much
Strickland.
he seems very much the intern. He seems very much, yeah, my XP just went up to 740 from 610. So apparently talking to people gets me XP as well.
I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, what's over here in this case? There you go.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Dude, those vampire hunters are gonna be in for a rough time when I get back out on the street and encounter them, because all this talking, all this talking is literally making me itch to just go out and start and beat something. Skulls, prevent disease, careless spitting, sneezing, coughing, spread influenza, spread by droplet spray from the nose and throat. Do not cough in public. But yeah, skulls, vampire hunters, whatever. I need to hit something. But I think this game may end up being less about that, though. It is very much about the interactions, and I do like games like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's just because I'm very, very eager to play around with all the abilities and stuff. But it's also important that I talk to these people, because if I'm not going to eat them, the only way for me to then gain
Good evening,
XP
sir.
is to speak with them.
I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
It's always your life in London or personal questions. I wonder if those are just considered a topic. Yeah, I guess just a topic.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
I also forgot to check the blood quality of the intern that we talked to. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really bad with names, because I'll see a name and then immediately forget it in like the next 2-3 minutes.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
In other words, I might lose my shit and drink you dry. And no personal questions.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
500
I
XP.
never could keep anything from her.
2,500. Also respectable.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
It's almost like, oh, I actually didn't check you guys. 350 fatigue.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Ooh, 2,600. And 4 against mental. He's 2, she's 4. This is a doctor I don't think I have met.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr.
Nope,
Reed.
that's Aykroyd.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Yep. I'm positive. Oh, no. He just looks way different in his portrait. Okay. Yep, that's you.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
And who have we here? Oh, I saw him earlier. I didn't get a chance to talk.
Good evening.
I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean? You used to be a doctor. Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Really? This trope? How they even... Oh boy. Okay, your life in London. Let's try this.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Have we met before?
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Ow. Yeah. Right trigger. Oh, okay. And then you can just drop it down while you're talking. He's 2,500. That's also respectable. Not afraid of the
Are you
dead.
afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
So, was everyone in the war? Like, I know it's a war, but you usually find some people who weren't in the war. But apparently everyone was in the war. Like, everyone we've talked to, except for the nurses. The nurses haven't mentioned it. But every doctor we talked to served in the war. It's almost like, okay, so if you guys were off serving in the war, who was taking care of the hospitals while you guys were gone? Because we haven't met a female doctor yet, only the nurses. So they wouldn't have surgeons like Dr. Reed, and they wouldn't have the ability to prescribe like medical diagnosis and stuff, because nurses don't normally do that.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army,
I shouldn't speak on
I
it. don't
worked
know
as
that
an
for
undertaker
sure.
down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Back. All those I've met before, not afraid of the dead. You know. Personal questions. Ooh, pawnbroker. You believe in life after death. Oh, it unlocked from a hint. Let's go. Yeah, let's
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No, I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
That's weird that he ended his sentence with even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
Okay, there are a lot of ways he's phrasing these questions and stuff.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed, I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
I feel like
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
what kind of goods these
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade. I exchange. Some people sell. Some others buy. I like to help.
Who else comes here to trade with you?
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Oh, that means you have one really bad one in that group. If you feel like all you know are good people, you have one of them is really fucked up and doing stuff you don't know about. What do you got
Please
to
show me
trade?
what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Often used to ease pain and coughing. Opium. I feel like I should buy these two and see if they have any interaction with those two patients. An enzymatic formula. This formula allows this paper seems complex and needs to be analyzed. 15 and 15. Sure. We'll see if we get an interaction with those two patients. Because the opium might help the guy whose face is in pain, and the other one may help Mortimer in his throat. So let's see. Oh, poster. Nurses are needed now. In the name of mercy, they depend on you. Nurses are needed now. Inquire at the nearest Labor and National. So we have a shortage of nurses, and all the doctors were off at war. Oh, not you.
Don't waste your time with me.
Yeah, Mortimer.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Tell me about yourself. Oh, we unlocked something.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Okay, so guy and overbearing mother.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest then.
I'm alright.
Okay,
Don't waste your time with
I
me.
guess that didn't do anything. 765 XP went up again. But so I guess I didn't do anything. Nope, doesn't give me the. Maybe I have to put the. Maybe I have to craft them. Unfinished letter. October, Mr. McCullum, Docks Patrols. Multiple in the Docks region. We believe a nasty leech is involved. Locate the beast, purge it, and quickly. Warning, according to recent reports, this vampire is very violent. Approach with extreme caution. I know we lack men in this part of town, but don't send rookies to investigate the case. If I'm correct, we've got a frenzied one killing each night. As always, search abandoned places first, like old houses, basements, sewers, or warehouses. Destroy the Leech Brothers. Destroy the Leech. Diary covered in bloodstains, found in sealed off house. Oh, right. Oh, and look, I can scroll again. This is the one we didn't finish last time. 19th October. Becky threw up a meal a few hours after she ate. She is so frail now, it makes me cry. She says she hears voices outside at night. She says she wants to eat meat. Where would I find meat? Tomorrow I'll barricade the house to protect us from the looters. Okay, that's the last one we read last time. So, 21st of October. The men with the mechanical shovel have stopped digging the mass grave. I heard shouts last night as if they were attacked. Now there are only a few boats throwing bodies day and night into the giant hole. The smell is terrible. We should have left this house a week ago. But Becky, she refuses to leave. She'd rather die. She said with a nasty smile, "Why is she torturing me so?" 22nd of October. Becky just attacked me. She jumped on me from the stairs and tried to bite me. I had to smack her, but she smacked me back. But I had to smack her, but she smacked me back. I went upstairs and locked myself in the bedroom. Now I can hear her crying and mumbling downstairs. I retrieved the gun I hid in the ceiling since the war to protect the house. Now I'm ready to use it to protect myself from my old wife. And they say men don't suffer from domestic abuse. It's like she jumped on me, tried to bite me. I had to smack her, and then she smacked me back. Oh, that's good. She smacked me back. 23rd October. I could not sleep at all. Becky spent the whole night scratching at the door, asking for my help, begging me to let her in, but I was too afraid to open it. I'm just waiting for her to die now. It would not be long. I pray God it will end soon. 24th of October. I was so hungry. I tried to go downstairs this morning. Becky was sitting in the armchair by the chimney. She was panting like a dog, looking at me without moving, just following me around the room with her eyes. I pointed the gun at her sore face, but she did not react. I could not pull the trigger. I went back to my room. 25th of October. The house is silent like a tomb. No more noises. Becky is dead now. Forgive me, my love. I was unable to save you. I'll be with you soon enough. That's sad. Unfinished written letter. Pembroke Hospital, 2nd of November. My dear children, sorry I did not write to you before, but it hurts like hell just to write these few words on bloody paper. Don't worry, Daddy will go out of the hospital as soon as the doctors fix his arm. In the meantime, if you need something, go see Mr. Chadwick at the construction site and tell him you are Harvey Fiddick's children. You remember Robert Chadwick, the big guy with the mustache who helped me repair the house doors last spring. Go see him and ask for a few bob. He won't refuse to spare you a few. I'm sorry I can't work anymore for now, but we'll figure out something as soon as I'm out. Don't worry, everything will be fine as soon as Daddy's arm is strong again, as soon as the doctors have fixed my arm.
These men, they're a company of professional vampire hunters.
So apparently buying the opium and the codeine was not worth anything. But we did not talk to the one guy. We went up to him, but I wasn't sure if that was going to start a scene or not. So I decided to wait.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
The Wet Boot Boys. The Wet Boot Boys, which only makes me think of the Soggy Bottom Boys from Brother Where Art Thou. Oh man, the Wet Boot Boys. Oh man, gang names have come a long way. Let's see, who leads the gang? Has the gang been threatening you?
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Who leads the gang now?
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
About Tom Watts.
Do you know Tom Watts? The bartender from the Turtle. I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Corruption?
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Despair.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
You're not wrong there. There's no questions. We're friends. What do you do for a living? How do you feel? I assume he's a priest. Let's go with how do you feel?
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
You know, since we now understand and know that we're a vampire, we probably should have went back to that pit and checked to see if our sister woke up. Let's see. Made friends since
Have you made
arrived.
friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Alright, what do you do for a living?
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor.
Yeah, right?
A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
It's kind of what a priest is. I think that's all we're gonna get out of it.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Damn. The pain.
See if this coat, if
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
I need my medicine.
Live in London. Hint required. No. Healthy. But it doesn't let us. Oh, mesmerize. Huh. Let's see. Blood quality 600. Okay, there's the blood quality 650 XP. Okay, so you can actually increase their blood quality. But he's not allowing us to do anything with them, though. Fatigue. Cure with treatment for fatigue. And healthy. Healthy. Yeah, he seems to be the only one. And healthy, we just gotta fix his arm. Also healthy. Huh.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn. The pain. It's there again.
Because I'm not regenerating health. I feel like I should be regenerating health, but for some reason I'm not.
A giant morgue disguised as a hospital. That's Pembroke nowadays.
Left button.
You are going to reveal all your secrets to me. Even the darkest thoughts in your heart.
My blood and soul, they belong to you.
I can't even use my vampiric ability to heal myself. Alright. Who's this? Oh, Pippa Hawkins. Okay. Is Pippa more than... Oh, there's Gwyneth Bradigan. Nope, she's only 1650. And here's, I think, the last person we need to talk to.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Branigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised. But I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swans's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Personal matters. Tippett praises you.